I thought since I'm already down this way, I fished in a kayak tournament at Dewey Lake, which is near Prestonsburg. I may as well go ahead and do a bank fishing video for Paintsville Lake. I doubt I fished down here this year. I've fished here before off and on. It's better really for trout, and they stock 10,000 trout in February in the lake, but they stock the spillway with trout like 2,500, I believe, every month, except for a couple of the summer months. I'll put in the video the trout stocking schedule so you can look at that. So I thought, since I'm already here, why not go ahead and go by Paintsville. I won't fish this lake today, but I can at least show you some options you have at the spillway for fishing, which is very easy bank fishing. It's basically ringed by a sidewalk, so you have great access for fishing there. And then I'll also go up to the main lake and show you a couple areas where you can bank fish if you wanted to do that at Paintsville. But again, no kayak today. I've already been in my kayak for about 8 hours and I am worn out. But I'll show you what you can do as far as bank fishing Paintsville Lake. So after about an hour's drive on 23 South, you're going to see a sign that says Paintsville and Salyersville, 460 West and 40. You want to take that exit. So you'll be taking the exit to the right, going down where it says Paintsville, Salyersville. You'll be turning right on 40 West, and you'll be headed toward Paintsville Lake State Park. You'll be on 40 West for just a little bit. There's actually two different turns you'll need to take. One will take you to the spillway, and one takes you to the main lake. I'm going to go to the spillway first, so I'll come back and then we'll go to the main lake after we go to the spillway. You'll cross this little bridge, you'll see a Dollar General, and right past the Dollar General you would turn right to go to Paintsville Lake State Park. But now to go to the spillway, you want to go straight. So don't turn toward the state park, keep going straight on 40 West, and you'll come around. There's a curve right up here. You kind of have to watch for the turn to the spillway because it'll sneak up on you. So you'll come around this little curve, as you can see me getting ready to do, and when you come around the curve, you're going to see a sign that says downstream area. See that sign right there, downstream area. You want to turn right. If you go across that bridge, you've gone too far. So turn right on Old Bridge Road, and this will take you right to the spillway. In fact, it dead ends at the spillway. So there's just a few houses here, and then basically you're at the spillway. So it's very easy to get to it. And like I said, for bank fishing, there is all kinds of area to bank fish, and I'll kind of show you that since I'm not doing a fishing video, just so you can see what it looks like. If you want to walk, there's a lot of people that come here and use it for a walking trail. You can just walk around the spillway. I don't know the distance there is, but there's plenty of room to walk here, and it's all, like I said, it's concrete and or gravel paths. So this is Paintsville Lake Spillway. Not crowded at all right now, which is kind of surprising. They release trout here, like I said, once a month. I think it's 2,500 a month. There's a little bridge here you can cross over and go to the other side if you want to fish from there. Now, the one thing about fishing on the other side is it's not very good access. You'd have to walk on those rocks, which can make it a little bit treacherous. There is a little bathroom area there. It's basically a outhouse, so in the summertime it's kind of stinky, but you know what, when you got to go, you got to go. So this whole area, as you can see, is easy access. Now the water fluctuates as far as depth. Right now it's actually pretty high. There's a marker down here and it's showing at 3.5 feet, and sometimes it drops even below that. So there's pools in here where trout like to hold, and really all down through here there's plenty of area for you to fish, and there's lots of little spots. But like I said, you can see right now, you could bring your kids here. It'd be a great place to walk, throw a little Mep spinnerbait, or maybe a Rapala, and something flashy. If you want to fly fish, I bring my fly rod down here, and it's a lot of fun, and you can catch a lot of trout on flies. So it's not a trophy trout stream, but on downstream from here there's an area where you can't even keep the trout. So I'm just basically taking you on a little walk down here. You can see how nice it is. If you had some young ones that like to fish, and you know, I can't promise they're going to catch a trout, but if you've never caught a trout, and I had a friend who never had, and she finally caught one at Greenbow this year, which made me very happy. But yeah, the water's up a little bit, more than usual, and I guess that's because of all the runoff we've had. But you can see that this whole area is just, it's a great place to fish. Now down this big white tube right here is where they release the trout, so that's where they release. There's an area on above up there. I'm not going to walk all the way up there. That's the actual spillway that comes out of the lake. And there's another release point up there, I guess, if the water's too low here. But typically they release the trout here, they go upstream, and they go downstream. So you can see this is a very nice area to fish. Now, of course, right here, it's just a sidewalk, and you can fish right off the sidewalk. So you can bring your kids here, fish here. The rocks over there are just a little bit treacherous. Down this way, there are areas where they have, I guess, paved runoff. I don't know what it's for, but those are areas you could actually stand on. I do walk down those rocks, and then down there, it's just basically asphalt, which you can walk on to fish over at the spillway itself. Of course, then you have stairs that go back up, so you can basically make a circuit and go back down. I'll go over to the bridge now, and I'll show you what it looks like downstream that way. Okay, so this is the other end of the spillway area, and there's, like I said, a bridge you can cross. Now, all of that down there is a little tougher to get to. So there's a walking path right here that goes down to a little point, and that area down there, you can fish down there also. You can fish all through here, but just know you're going to be on rocks, and those rocks move. So if you're not very stable on your feet, you do want to stick to the sidewalk. But you know, as you can tell, and again, you can fish all down through here on both sides. Typically it's this side, but if you've never caught a trout, within an hour of Ashland, you've got a tailwater that is stocked, I think, 10 out of 12 months a year with rainbow trout. I think they also stock brown trout, but I'm not sure about that. But they do stock rainbows, and I've caught a bunch of them. If you've never caught a trout on a fly rod, this is a great place to come with your fly rod, because they hold, especially around that sidewalk area, all down through here too. You'll see them in the eddies and the pools, and especially as the water drops, they're a lot easier to find. But just an idea, if you want to come here and fish for trout, that's the main thing that's here. I've caught bluegill, I've caught green sunfish, but trout's really the draw. And it's a great opportunity here at the Paintsville Lake Spillway. And you can see there is plenty of areas to park. There's plenty of parking spaces. Now, I will tell you, when the trout are released, this place gets pretty crowded. But no one catches all the trout, so there's always trout here to catch. So if I were you, I wouldn't come here on trout release day. I would wait probably a few days, maybe a week or two, and then come then, so you'll be able to hopefully catch something, but not have the crowds like today where there's no one here hardly. This is awesome. So leaving Paintsville Lake Spillway, I will be turning left to go to Paintsville Lake, the main lake. But just remember, when you are coming from Ashland, if you want to go to the main lake, you'll be turning right. And it's the turn, for me, it's the turn right before Dollar General. For you coming from Ashland, it would be the turn just past Dollar General. It's 2275, is the road you're going to turn on. Again, I'm turning left because I'm coming from the spillway, but if you didn't want to go to the spillway and you wanted to go just to the lake, you would turn right just past the Dollar General. So now I'm coming into the main lake area, and you'll come around this curve, and you'll see on the left parking spaces. This is a very popular walking track area, so there's lots of people that come here in the evening and walk. I'll turn into the parking lot here, and down there is the main lake. So I'll show you some areas here you can fish. This is the Paintsville Lake Dam. I have fished here before, and since I'm not doing my kayak, I'll kind of point out some things about the area, the depths of the water, and potential things you might catch. Some of the fish I've caught here, I've caught bass, I've caught green sunfish and bluegill, and in the summertime this area gets a lot of, I think it's hydrilla. It's an underwater plant. So some areas are tough to fish. You may need to use a bobber to keep it out of the weeds. There are growths of weeds along the way here too, but I've used my fly rod here and actually caught some little 10-12 inch bass, which on a 3-weight fly rod is a lot of fun. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could catfish here. I think a lot of people do that, and you know, trout would always be an option, especially in the cooler months, because they do release 10,000 in February. Okay, so this is the Paintsville Dam, and I'm not going to walk all the way down there, but you can see it goes basically all the way down through there. Those rocks are, there are some benches even to sit on down there, but you can fish. It might surprise you, the water isn't as deep as you might think right here. It's around, I don't know, in the teens to the 20 feet deep. There is a path that goes around this way. I'm trying to go over here so you can see it. That actually lets you walk all along this bank over here. Now there are some areas you can fish, some areas you can't, obviously, because there's just no access. But so you've got this whole area down here at the dam, goes all the way around to that point, and a little bit past that point then it kind of ends because there's woods, and there's the Corps of Engineers has that kind of blocked off. You can only go so far. So you have this whole point and this whole area here to fish from, and it's about, this area and through here is in the 20 feet deep range. There's a, like I said, that path that goes around this way, and it goes all the way over there. And there are spots along the way where you can actually bank fish too. So I hope that helps as far as the dam goes. Now I'm going to go over to the main marina and show you what's over there. So leaving the dam parking area, that sounds kind of funny actually. Oh, and by the way, if you want to fish down at the dam, it's a hike up and down. So just know if you have any kind of limitations physically, that probably would not be a good place to try. The spillway would be better because it's got paved, or I guess concrete sidewalks. And then you'll see here there are areas to fish off the side of the road. That's what I wanted to show you. I told you about that pathway that runs along through here, and there's actually a spot or two you can park, and they have areas where you could go fish, like right here. In fact, let me just pull in here real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But this is another area for, obviously, for bank fishing. This would be much easier access, good gracious, what a bump, than the dam. But this will just give you some ideas of what's here. So this is coming from the dam into the main marina area. Here's that pathway I was talking about. Now that does it, believe it or not, it goes all the way around. So there are spots all along through there where you can stop and fish. This area has a little fishing dock, or fishing pier, I guess. And you can, of course, you could go down and fish there. There's a bench down there, but you could also just walk out here on this little pier and fish off of here. Believe it or not, this area out through here is in the 30 feet deep range. So I mean, right here it may not be 30 foot deep, but not far off of this bank it's 30 foot deep. And here, I'll walk out here real quick. Over off the marina on my fish finder or depth finder, I think 109 feet deep is the deepest I've found. And that's kind of out over past those big houseboats and things. But in that area right out there, it's over 100 feet deep. I don't know if you can see over there that little that bank over there. That's a straight drop off to 85 feet. So this is an extremely deep, and when the summertime hits, clear lake. So just know that it's a tough lake to fish, but there's a lot of bank access, as you can see. And I'm going now over there to the main marina parking lot, and I'll show you places you can fish there. So I'm just now leaving that little area I showed you where the little fishing pier is, and this is now the main marina area. And there's a lot of areas here you can fish also. And this, actually, there's a lot to do. The campground is just right through there. So if you like to camp, that's the campground over there. There's a playground, there's picnic tables, there's a picnic shelter, and this right here is the main boat ramp. They're doing some kind of construction here, so they may be making more access for people to be able to get down to the lake. And in fact, it looks like they are. Very nice. So all of this is bank access. I mean, you can see they're doing a lot of construction right now, so some of it is not accessible. But this whole area, as you can see as I'm driving along, all of this would be open for you to fish off the bank. And again, very easy to get to. You can see I'm still just going. I'm just driving right now. There is a sidewalk you can walk along. There are benches. There's picnic tables. There's a picnic shelter. And all of that would be bank fishing that you could actually do and enjoy. Now, I'm sure the marina is off limits. There's lots of houseboats and lots of boats here. That would be off limits. But you can see here at Paintsville Lake, if you wanted to fish off the bank, you have plenty of areas to choose from. There's picnic shelters, there's a playground, and that whole area there is brand new. I don't know, I'm guessing it's just for more access, maybe for handicap access. So if you're wheelchair bound, you still have areas here you could come and fish, which is very nice. I'm not sure about that bank over there. There's probably areas you could fish. I just don't know how to get there. The campground is right there, so it would be hard to probably get there without being a camper. So I hope that helps as far as finding places you can fish here at Paintsville. I know it's an hour's drive from Ashland, but they do stock trout 10 out of 12 months, I believe, at the Spillway. And the main lake, they stock 10,000 rainbow trout in February. So the nice thing about that, the one thing I like about the trout stocking program is, for me anyway, it lets me fish basically year round. January, I think I fish January, maybe not February, but the cold weather doesn't bother the trout. They like colder water as long as it's not frozen over. So you have the ability to catch fish almost year round now because of the trout stocking program. So the main draw for Paintsville would be the trout. So if you've not caught them before, or you like to fish year round, this would be a great place to come. So I hope this video is helpful. I'm not a normal video for me, because usually I would fish and tell you depths and things, but this, just know this is a very deep lake. And even I'll show you right here, even out in here, this area, like over there, it's 35 40 feet deep. Right out in there, it's 35 40 foot deep. And you get out in the main lake and you're talking, like I said before, over 100 feet deep. You know, I do this because I want to give people ideas and let them see it before they actually drive to it, because this would be an hour's drive. And so before you spend that time, hopefully you'll have some ideas on where you want to go and what you want to fish for. So have a great weekend, and I hope your week next week is wonderful as well. Thank you for watching.